identifying the center and radius to graph a circle given its equation in standard form. All right, so long title, actually pretty short topic here. So we need to identify two things, the radius and the center of the circle. And we're given the equation of the circle. So it actually makes it a little easier if we're given this equation here. It does look a little complicated, but if we look down here, so this is the standard form of the equation for a circle, like this. So we have x minus h plus, whoa, that's looking ugly here. I'm going to erase that. Plus y minus k, and these are both squared, equals r squared. And actually, this is kind of, if we went through and did the exploration for this, it actually comes a bit from a squared plus b squared equals c squared, if you can kind of see that pattern here. But in this case, we're talking about slightly different numbers, but it actually comes from that same idea of Pythagorean theorem. So what does all this mean? So we have this point here, and I'm going to change my colors. So we have h. Well, that's a little different. We haven't had an h before. H is the x-coordinate of your center. And I'm going to put a comma here. Then we have, and here I'll do this in blue, then we have k. And k is the y-coordinate of your center. Keep in mind that these go in as, and I'm going to put these arrows in pink, there is a negative sign in the equation here. So what that means is that it's always x minus h. If you see a plus sign in here, what it means was the coordinate was negative to begin with. So if you see a minus sign, it doesn't mean you put my negative h down here. You just bring h. The minus is part of the equation. So if you see x minus a number, you just bring the number down. But if you see x plus a number, that told you it was minus negative. There's two negatives, so it becomes a positive. That's when you bring a negative down with it. So we'll practice that in a moment too. All right, so we have the last piece here, which is on the end, which is the r, and that's r squared. Well, r means radius. So we have, if they give us this equation, we have all the pieces that we need in order to complete this problem. So I'm going to come over here. I'm actually going to do it on the screen to make it a little easier. Oh, I can't see my pen. Let me bring it over. It's hidden off to the side when I minimize my screen like that. Okay, so I'm going to bring it over here just so I have it. So I'm going to go with red first here. And so they're giving me x minus 5. So minus 5. 5 is my x coordinate for my center. That's my h. And then I have, change this to blue. Then I have plus 3. Remember, this should be a minus. That tells me that when I write it in my coordinate here, I need to write negative 3. And I wasn't writing. Let me write this down here. So we have our pieces here. So we have 5, negative 3. So I already have my center point. And now I'm going to do my radius here. So I have 16. So I don't have a number squared. But what's the square root of 16? 4. So really what this is 4 squared. And 4, not 16, 4 is the radius. It's the radius squared at the end. So my radius, or my r, is 4. So now if I scroll down here, these are all the same things that they pointed out to us. And we can graph it. So we graph 5, negative 3. That's our center. We graph one point that's 4 away. So I can go 4 to the right, 4 to the left, 4 straight up, 4 straight down. Don't go diagonally. That doesn't mean the same thing if you go like from corner to corner 4. That's a different distance. I need to go straight across the units, right, left, up, or down. And then I make a point. And then there's going to be a tool on the next page that will just help snap the circle to the line. So let's go ahead and clear this. And I'm going to start. Okay. So this one does look a little different right off the bat. Where is my h? I have x squared, but there's no x minus h. Well, if it's just x squared, what that means is it was x minus 0 squared. Well, what happens to 0? Cancels off, and I just end up with x squared. So that tells me that my x coordinate, the h, is 0. All right, let's go ahead and go for our blue portion here. So now I have y plus 4. So I know 4 I'm going to write 4 here, but this is supposed to be a negative sign because it's a positive sign. That tells me that my coordinate was negative. So I have y minus negative 4. And I'm going to write that out here just so that you really get the idea here, because negative is in the equation. That's part of it. And then I also put in the negative 4 for my k because that's my coordinate. That's the only way to get a plus sign in between them. So just keep that in mind. We have to pay attention to that. And then the last portion here, which I'm going to move this over. I keep going over to grab it really far. So we have 4 here, but what is the square root of 4? 2. So my radius is 2. So I'm going to put 2 here. All right. So let's go ahead and click over here, and I'm going to start typing these in. So I have 2, I have 0, and I have negative 4. So now I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to grab my pen tool, and I'm going to go 0. So the first number is right or left. Second number is up or down. So 0 means I don't move. And then the negative 4 tells me I go down 4. Click. So I'm hoping at this point we're understanding graphs a bit better. And then I can go in any direction I want. 2. So I can go 1, 2, and I can click. I can go 1, 2, and I can click here. 1, 2, I can click. 1, 2. So I can do it any one that I'm going straight over, right, left, up, or down. I don't want to go like diagonal like this. That wouldn't work. That's actually going to be outside of the circle. We don't want that point. Okay, so then we have all these other tools over here. So this is the basic line tool. We've used this before where we go like this and we create a line. Well, we don't want a line right now. I'm going to undo that. Then there's a circle tool. There is a parabola tool, and there's this is an oval, but it does have a special name. It's an ellipse. So for now, we're going to go circle, and what we want to do is we just want to click on the center like this. And then what we need to do is drag this so that it matches, so that it's right on top of those all those points. And if you notice, all my points, no matter which one I pick, landed on top of my circle. What a circle means is, if you read the definition, it says a lotus of points from a given point. So a lotus means a lot, basically, just all the points. So it's just all the points that are equally distant from this center point. So every point on this circle is 2 away. Even if I could measure this, I'd actually have to do the distance formula to do that. Just go 2 squares over because it doesn't work like that diagonally. It only works like that when you're going right, left, up, or down. All right, so let's go ahead and click check. And we're good to go. Clear. And next. Okay, so I'm hoping this one, it sounded like a lot with that nice big title, but it's really not too bad once you know the formula here. So remember, it's 4. That should be a negative, so it's a negative 4 because 2 negatives made the positive. And then I have 3. Again, that should be a negative, so I have a negative 3 because that's how the 2 negatives made a positive there. And then my end point here, which is an orange. So 25, I need to take the square root of 25, and I get 5. That's my radius. All right, so let's come over here and type these in. So I get 5, negative 4, negative 3. I'm going to graph my negative 4, and then, sorry, going the wrong direction here. Negative 4, negative 3. Jumping ahead a little too much there. So I have to go left 4, down 3. So remember, first number right or left, second number up or down. All right, so now that I have my center, I need to go in any direction, right, left, up, or down, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I can do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can do that in all the directions if I want to. I only have to do 1. You don't have to do all 4 like I'm doing. And then I click on my center, and I just need to make sure I drag this out so it matches. And I click again, and then it drops it. So you do have to click again to drop it. Otherwise, it's going to keep resizing it. All right. So check. And we're good. So let's go next. Last one here. So we're going to have, so now we have x squared plus y squared. Remember in that first one, if I have x minus 0 squared, well, what happens to 0? It cancels and I just have x squared. Same thing if I have y minus 0 squared. Well, what happens to the 0? The 0 cancels and I just have y squared. And then there's just a plus sign in between them. So that's whenever you just have x squared or y squared, what it means is your coordinate is, in fact, 0, 0. So let's go over here, and I'm going to type in 0, 0. And then if I look at the end, it's 16. The square root of 16 is 4. So my radius is 4. All right, so let's go ahead and graph. I don't have to go anywhere. I just get to click. My center is 0, 0. And then I'm going to go 4 units. This one's easy because it's already marked for me. 4, 4, 4, 4. Again, do you have to mark all 4 spots? No. You have to mark your center and then one of these 4s. So you need 2 points to make this work so that you know where to go. Now, if I don't have any points at all in this, will it still work? It will, and I'll show you. So I go here like this, and I'm going to go, there's my circle. I'm going to clear it all out really. I'm going to click this. If I know my center is 0, 0, I can click on 0, 0 without putting a dot. And then if I know that I need to go out to 4, I can go over here and I can click again. This is perfectly fine. It will accept this. You don't have to put the points on there. If you know what they are and you want to just use the center tool to do that, that's fine. You can do it that way too. All right, we finished it. Yay.